Srinivas, can you please tell me about yourself? Are you available? Can you please unmute yourself and tell me what are your expectations for this?
Yeah, sure, Chaitanya. Myself is Srinivas. So actually,
Mm-hmm.
I was Java developer. Currently, I'm not working. Just I want to
Okay,
skill my knowledge. So for that reason, I'm joining this session.
that's fine. Okay, thanks. Thank you, Srinivas. Okay, so let me introduce about myself. I am Chaitanya. I am working as a DevSecOps engineer with a level 5 consultant. I'm a level 5 consultant and I'm working in a top MNC company right now. So, and I'm having 13 years of experience into the world of IT. So previously I used to give the trainings on system administration, like networking, hardware, server, Windows Server 2012, 2016, 2019. So, and later on I have shifted to AWS and DevOps. Okay. Currently I'm working with as a DevOps engineer. Okay. That's my position. And when you come to the certification, I'm a Microsoft certified. I am Kubernetes certified. I'm a certified Kubernetes administrator, and I have my AWS certifications done. So these are all the certifications which I possess. Okay. So now my sessions will be purely an interactive sessions. I don't want one way of communication. I want the both way of communication. So I expect that from you. Okay. Before I go into the Docker and Kubernetes concepts, just let us have a clear glimpse of what happens in your day-to-day life. Will you be using Zomato? Will you be using Zomato? What is this Zomato? Yeah. What is this Zomato?
Yeah, it's online. We can
Food
order
delivery.
food. Yeah, food delivery company.
Okay. For example, Chandu is there. Okay. Chandu is there and he wants to eat something. Okay. He wants to eat some burger or else he wants to order some pizza or he wants to eat some biryani. So he got a thought that I'm very, I have this craving of eating pizza or else eating burger. So now what he is going to do, he will open his phone. He will open his phone and then obviously he is going to open an application to order the food. Okay. So now when he opens the application, the request will go to a particular location, to this Zomato, so-called Zomato office. Now, will you tell me whether there will be, so when you see, when you open the Zomato on YouTube, is one person is sending to everyone from their laptop? Is that Zomato guy, whoever is the Zomato operations person is there from the office, he is going to send the food or else he is going to send the response to you? Whether he is going to, only one person is going to respond to the millions of people? Is it going to happen?
No, definitely not.
No, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So how it is going to happen? The app is going to run in somewhere called as computers or else somewhere called as servers. Okay, in the servers, the application will be running. So now this application or else these servers, wherever the application is running inside the server, these servers will be located in a place, in an area called as data center. Okay, inside the data center or else inside the cloud. Okay, if you are having some 10,000 requests, that's fine. We don't have any problem. But if you got some 1 million requests at a time from 1 million people, you are getting a request. Okay, I want to order some food. For example, if you go for a lunchtime, if you take the lunchtime somewhere around 12 to afternoon 12 o'clock to and 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So at that time, this Zomato or Swiggy applications will be very busy. Why? Because so many number of peoples will be accessing that application. Okay. If this application is installed or else hosted on a single server, if the application is there on a single server, then what happens to the server? The server will be crashed out because it cannot handle those many number of requests. So obviously the server will be crashed out. So to overcome this problem, what happens when if the server crashes, if the server is crashed, then the application goes down, application will not work, and then people cannot place the orders. When the server goes down, then obviously the people cannot place the orders, and as well as Zomato loses the money. That particular company will lose the money. Why? Because there is no order, and then you are going to get bad reviews for that application. So if the application is continuously crashing, obviously no people will be showing interest to access that application. No people will be showing the interest to create or also create an order in that application. Definitely you are going to get the bad reviews, which will which will put stake, okay, which means your company will be under stake. So to overcome all these problems, what we are going to do, what the big companies like Swiggy, Zomato, Ola, Uber, they are going to do here is, they are not going to run the application only in a single server. They will be running the applications in the containers. Okay, so or else in the Docker or else containers. So what is a container? A container is a tiny portable copies of an application. So if you are having an application, that application will be replicated into multiple containers. So the whenever the requests are coming, so the multiple containers will be handling the multiple requests. So here comes the main picture called as your Docker. So welcome to the world of Docker and Kubernetes. Right now we are going to enter into the world of Docker and Kubernetes. In the next upcoming 20 days, we will be clearing the complete concept of Docker and Kubernetes. So now let me explain you, let me ask you a small question. How we runs the application reliably and everywhere and anytime. So let me ask you a question. Now you are running an application in your laptop. When you give the application to your friend, for example, or else let me go with a very simple example. You are preparing some food. You invited your friend to your home. You have invited your friend to your home, and you are preparing some food. Okay, when you are preparing some food, what I will do here is, let me put it like this. Okay, all right. When you invited your friend to your home and you are cooking some food, okay, and the food tastes fantastic, and your friend loves that food. So I want to have this food in my home. Okay, I want to have this food in my home. Can you please give me the recipe? So you will write down the entire recipe and give it to your friend. But when you give that recipe to your friend, when he tries in his home, the food, whatever the taste that when you prepare the food, whatever the taste you got, the same taste will not come with your friends, with your friend's home, or else within your friend's home. So he will call you back and bash you. Okay, you have prepared so good, so tasty, but when I prepare, it is coming like this. You have given some wrong recipe, so he's going to bash you. I don't want that to be happen. So now what I will do, I will cook the food. So whenever he asks me what is the recipe, don't worry about the recipe. I will cook the food and I will put it in a container. And if you want any recipe also, I will give the complete recipe, whatever the dependencies. For example, I want to cook some beautiful biryani. So I not only give the recipe, I will cook some food, and as well as I will provide the recipe also and put it in a container and give it to him. So in the same manner, Docker doesn't share the recipe. Doesn't share the recipe in the sense it is not going to share only the code. It shares the entire meal in the sense entire application and the complete setup. Whatever the application dependencies are, that is going to give the entire thing. Now, what is if right now whatever I have said, that's just a real time example. Okay, when you are cooking in the home, whatever you are saying, that's a some what I can say analogy which I have given. But actually what happens in the real time world, or else real time means, so when you create an application, if you are a Java developer, right now whoever are attending to the session, they are the Java developers, right? When you create an application, it will work in my laptop, or else it works in my laptop, and you share the same application with your friend, or else with the server administrator. Okay, whoever is deploying that application, whoever is installing the application in the server, you have shared the application to that particular person. Now what the person is going to tell, it is not working on the server, it is not working on my laptop. Then what you will say, no, no, it is working on my laptop. So then there will be multiple emails will be exchanged between you and that particular guy. So now what happens then? So the application has to be deployed within 1 week, but it is going to take so many days. So the application will be created or else installed in the server after 6 months. So your client will be very angry. So it cannot be happen in such manner. So for that, what is going to happen? Why it is going to happen in that fashion? Because of the different environments. So you will be creating the application in a different environment, and as well as there will be the software, whatever the software that you are using, the same software cannot be used by your friend, or else cannot be used in the servers. So there might be missing software and version issues will be there. You will be creating the application on Java version 17. but the same version will not be there in the server. The server will have Java version 8 or Java version 11. Why? Because previously we are having so many applications running on that server on Java, on the older version. Now you have created a new version or a new version of application which is running on Java 17. So there is a version issues will be there. So these are all the issues that we are facing on the real time. Just like the previous example, the recipe example, if you consider that. So now what I am going to do here is I am going for a solution called as Docker. What this Docker is going to do, Docker will pack the entire application, whatever the application and its dependencies, and it will create the container. Okay, so this particular application can run anywhere, and when it is running, it will be the same. If it is running in your laptop, the same will be there. If it is going with the server also, it is going to be the same. So the application, wherever it is running, it will be the same. Okay, so that is the what it is going to do. Whatever the code that you have written, that complete code will be converted into a package, and that package will be given onto your server. So no more it works on my system. So there won't be any sentence like this. It works only on my system. It is not going to work on your server. Your server is the dumb server. The server will not work properly. So the developer cannot complain on that. Okay, so why? Because he has to develop an application in such a manner that it has to work anywhere, not only in his laptop, but it has to work anywhere. So in that cases, we are going to use the Docker. Do you understand why we are going to use the Docker? Any questions here up to now? Any questions?
Yeah, I think very, very clear. Yeah.
Now, okay, that's fine. Now you understand it's what is meant by Docker and why why we need to use the Docker. For example, if I am having a single container, that's fine. If I am having some 20 containers, for example, I have to give a lunchbox to one of my friend. Only one lunchbox, that's fine. If I have to give the same recipe and same lunch boxes to 20 of my friends, then I need to maintain those containers, or else then I need to maintain those lunch boxes. It will be very, very difficult for me. So I have to check who is a vegetarian, who is non-vegetarian, which type of gravy I have to put in this box, which type of which person is having allergic to something. So everything I have to check. In the same manner, in your Docker environment, if you are having a single container, that's okay. If you are having some 20 containers, if you are having some 100 containers, so who is going to manage that? So imagine you are manually running some 20 containers on Docker. So you must start each and every container manually by yourself. So if at all, if the Docker container is down, or else if you have to create the container also, you have to manually do that. And you need to monitor each and every container by yourself. Okay, so manually you have to do that, and then restart them if they crashed out. For example, application is running, suddenly the container hit with a huge load, then the container will be shut down. So then again you have to manually start the container. Until that, the application won't be there. For example, if you are a DevOps engineer, you are working only with the Docker. Suddenly the container is crashed out. Crashed out in the sense, due to heavy load, the container is shut down. The application is not available for the end customer. Until the client calls you, if you are not monitoring the container, if you are not using the monitoring tools, until the client comes to you and he is going to try like beat you. Okay, he's going to scold you like anything. Why? Because you are a DevOps engineer, you have to monitor everything, you have to do the automation main. So he is going to come back to you and he will ask you why the containers is not running. So the application is not available to the end customers. We are having this much amount of loss for this much amount of time. You are responsible for this. So these are all the words that we will daily listen. But the point is, so we have to manage them manually. But what we are getting here, so and then, for example, if the traffic increases, I will give you a small example to this in the upcoming time. Then what we have to do here to manage all of these containers automatically, we are having a concept called as Kubernetes. What is this Kubernetes going to do? Kubernetes will stop the containers, it will start the containers, it is going to create the containers. Whenever the container is crashed out, automatically it is going to restart the containers. Okay, so everything will be organized. Who is going to do that? Kubernetes will do that, just like a robo. So if you are using a robo or say a technology for making certain things, the same manner it is going to work like a robo for you for maintaining the containers. So manage the containers. How you are going to manage the containers? With the help of a concept called as Kubernetes. So now just I have given you an example, like, so when the traffic increases, Kubernetes say, what Kubernetes is going to say. So just for example, if you are using an e-commerce website, for example, Flipkart or also Amazon, Big Billion Day sales, Great Indian Festival sales, at that particular point of time, huge number of traffic will be falling onto that application. When huge amount of traffic is falling onto the application, then what containers are, Kubernetes is going to do, it will understand that so many requests are coming. So there is a concept called as auto scaling. Okay, auto scaling is there. I will tell you in the Kubernetes concept, but it is going to tell that we are so huge amount of traffic is coming. We are getting 1 million users. So I need to create some 100 application copies. So the same application should be replicated like 100 containers. So 100 containers will be created and all the containers will serve the traffic. Okay, so it launches 100 containers using Docker in seconds. Within seconds, it is going to launch the applications and no developer touches anything. It is completely automated. So Kubernetes is going to monitor the traffic and then it is going to increase the number of containers whenever the traffic is reduces. So after the Big Billion Day sales or also after this, what I can say, whatever the Great Indian Festival Day sales, whatever, or else if you take Zomato in the afternoon sessions or else in the night sessions, what happens? The traffic will be very high. So once the traffic is high, then it automatically will increase the number of servers. If the traffic is less, it is going to decrease the number of servers for cost save. So if you see, when we integrate Docker and Kubernetes, it's a powerful combo. So what it is going to do, Docker will pack the application into the containers and those containers are managed by the Kubernetes. So together, when we use the Docker and Kubernetes together, we are going to get fast, reliable and scalable deployment. Okay. Fast means whenever we want, we can get the application, or else whenever we want, we can get the response from the applications very fastly. And the applications are reliable. They won't shut down, like they won't crash out. If one application, one container is crashed out, still we have multiple containers. Automatically containers will be created. So we don't need to worry about that, so that the application will be available 24/7. So I can call it as reliable. And scalable means whenever the application is down, automatically, or else if you are getting so many huge amount of traffic, automatically Kubernetes is going to increase the number of containers. That is what scalability. If the traffic is less, then automatically it is going to reduce the containers. So if you see here, Google runs 2 billion containers per week using Kubernetes. This is a fact. Okay, if you check on the Google also, now it is running 4 billion containers per week in the Kubernetes. Whatever the applications it is running, Google is running something called as Google Workspaces, Google Drive, Google Photos, Google Contacts, like that. There are so many Google applications out there. So Google uses 2 billion containers, 2 billion in the sense 200 crores of containers. Okay. Now, when you go back right now, if you see right now, if you check in the Google also, if you see the fact, it is running 400 crores of containers every week. It has doubled. Okay. So what you will learn in this complete course is how to build and manage the applications like a pro. Okay. Just I can tell you, you can become as a professional, not an expert. Until you do the practice, you won't become the expert. And later, why company uses the Docker and Kubernetes. For example, right now I am telling you the Docker and Kubernetes is widely used. Why? Because of the speed. Whenever you have updated the application, automatically the deployment will be very fast. Launch new features fastly. Just like your Spotify. So Spotify deploys the code multiple times a day using the containers. That's how you get the new features so quickly. So in the Spotify, if you see, Spotify is a music app. So in the Spotify, what is going to happen? Within a very short span of time, within every day, the code will be updated, your features will be updated. So these feature updation can be done with the help of the Docker containers. Not only that, consistency. Consistency means it works here, but not there. Just I have said it works on my laptop, it won't be working on your laptop. It won't be like that. So there will be consistency, the application will be reliable. So in traditional deployment, traditional means if you don't have the containers and if you don't have the Kubernetes in the normal server deployment, what is going to happen? So you are going to face an issue called as 75% of the bugs caused due to the environmental differences. I am running my application on Windows. The same application I am trying to access on the install on the Linux machine. So it won't be accessible. So that is the environmental differences. So Docker is going to reduce that in the modern companies. And then cost saving, effective use of servers. Okay, so just take an example called as Pinterest. Pinterest saves 80% of infrastructure cost by moving to the Docker and Kubernetes. So see, if you go for the traditional applications, for example, Pinterest is a startup company, just for example, if you take. So he is investing only some 25 lakhs of amount in that particular company. So the only one proprietary is there. It's a proprietary based company. So that is not a partnership based company. Proprietary is there, is the CEO. He has invested some 25 lakhs. Okay. When he invested some 25 lakhs to develop the application, he needs to recruit the developers. He has to pay the salary for them. And then he has to provide the infrastructure, computers, network, routers, firewalls, everything. He has to check out that. Now, if he has to purchase the servers, okay, server itself will cost around some 4 to 5 lakhs, and it has to maintenance will be there. Maintenance cost will be another 2 lakhs per month. So that will be very, very difficult for him. Why I am saying 2 lakhs means when you purchase the server, you have to hire the system administrators, network administrators, and then security people. So everything should be there. So it is going to cost additional cost for you. So to reduce that, we can use the cloud, but in the cloud also we can use the Docker and Kubernetes. So a Pinterest saved 80% of infrastructure cost by moving to Docker and Kubernetes. And scaling automatically handles 10 to 10 million users automation. The best example is Netflix. So whenever the Netflix handles the traffic spike during the major show launches, for example, previously when you see Money Heist season 1, season 2 is so hit, and when they release the season 3 and season 4, then at that particular point of time, when they release that particular show in the first day itself, everyone will have that eagerness. I want to watch the movie first day, first show. So when you are having that eagerness to watch the movie first day, first show, so many people will be rushing towards that application. Just take an example. Your favorite hero movie is releasing. So definitely you will rush to the nearest theater. So when you rush to the nearest theater, just like what happens previously in some incidents or happened, right? So many crowded people will be there. There will be a bottleneck situation will be there. At that particular point of time, incidents may happen. Just like previously, if you see in December, we have an incident, or else if you see some another instance, just I'm comparing them. Okay, take an example, the real time. So if there are so many people at a time going over there, entering into a place, then there will be a bottleneck situation will be there. In the same manner, if the Netflix application is there, in the Netflix application, you want to watch a show which is released recently in the sense just now within an hour, if you want to watch that show, then there will be a bottleneck situation. Why? Because across the world, so many requests will be coming to your application and it will be hitting towards your application. Now, if you are having a single server, the server will be crashed out. So what Kubernetes is going to do? Kubernetes will be scaling up them, spinning some thousands of container under 60 seconds. Within 60 seconds, they are saying 60 seconds, it might go up to 2 minutes also. Within 2 minutes, you can scale up multiple number of containers with the help of Kubernetes, so that the traffic, whatever the bottleneck situation that we are expecting, that won't be there. So many different ways, different containers will respond back to the users. So this is the main use case of the Kubernetes. No human needs to sit and restart the servers. The common companies using this approach, Kubernetes and Docker, is Amazon, Netflix, Zomato, Flipkart, Paytm, Swiggy, and PhonePe. Not only that, Jio Hotstar is also using the same containerized application. And what else? Your Redbus also using the same. Avibus is also using the same containerized applications. And then what else? Some matrimonial applications will also using the same applications. And yeah, every application now, whenever you open your phone, whatever the application that you are accessing right now, either it might be YouTube, it might be Gmail, it might be somewhere like Swiggy, it might be somewhere like Netflix, or else it might be Hotstar, or else any application that you take right now, everything is deployed on the Docker and Kubernetes. So that's the reason definitely you need to understand what is the importance of Docker and Kubernetes, and you have to learn the Docker and Kubernetes. So if you learn the Docker and Kubernetes, you will understand how this application will work. now there are so many developers who are attending to my session. They know how to create the application with the help of Java. Okay. They know how to create the application with the help of Python. They know how to create the application with the help of Golang, Ruby, but they don't know how these applications are deployed. So to know about that, you need to learn the Docker and Kubernetes. So this is the best course for you to understand how our applications are getting deployed, how majorly main people are accessing the application. Everything you will understand if you go through the concept of Docker and Kubernetes. So I hope you understand why you want to learn the Docker and Kubernetes. Any questions from your end? Do you got your clarity of why we have to learn Docker and Kubernetes? Any questions?
Yes, I got the clarity, but I have one question. Is Docker and Kubernetes the free source or is the license?
It's a free. Docker and Kubernetes is totally free.
I can go and install right here, right now without any.
Yeah, you can install that.
And I also can deploy my application in Docker and Kubernetes right, without any.
Yeah, you can deploy that. I will show you. We will
Okay, fine.
see. Okay. I will tell you about my approach in the upcoming time. Right now, I just am asking you whatever the content that I have delivered, do you understand it or not? Why you want to use the Docker and Kubernetes? That is my question.
Right. Yeah, it is very clear. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Thanks.
So by completing this course, who has lost this? I think, yeah. What kind of roles we can apply? So you can apply for a DevOps role, but this is not a complete DevOps. So to apply for a DevOps engineer role, you need to understand the DevOps. Okay, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, and Jenkins. These are the four major tools, and Git also. These are the five major tools which are playing a crucial role. Among this, 30% you can rely on the Docker and Kubernetes. See, I cannot say you that only learning Docker and Kubernetes will help you to join in a job. Okay, Docker and Kubernetes will open a path. Okay, to learn the DevOps. So if you learn the complete DevOps, then that will be very handy for you. Okay, got it?
Any cloud knowledge is required.
AWS, prerequisite is AWS. Okay, not very in depth. We don't want S3 buckets. We don't want RDS. We don't want what I say, cloud formation. We don't want CloudWatch. We don't want anything else. We want only easy to instance creation. If you know about that, then that is well and good. If you don't know about that, just to go through the videos. Basic videos are available over the internet. In the YouTube also, you have that videos. So just to see how to install the easy to instances in the free. For the free purpose, or free tier, how we can create the free tier AWS account, how to install the easy to instance. If you know about that, that's more than enough. Okay, right. Questions, guys? All right. So now let me go back to the next point. What you are going
Did you
to
cover
learn
this
over
AKS and all? Cloud
EKS. EKS. I will come back to that. Okay. So we are talking about yeah. Let me go with the syllabus. What is the syllabus of this entire? Jenkins will not be covered over here, madam. So Jenkins, you have to separate. You have to learn separately. Why? Because it's a CI/CD pipelining tool, which will somewhere around some 1 week of time it will capture. Okay. So it is only purely Docker and containerization and orchestration platforms we are going to discuss in this sessions.
You
Okay, let me
provide
give you
training
the.
on Docker also. This DevOps also, Chaitanya.
Sorry.
You provide training on DevOps also.
Yeah. Right now, I'm not into. I mean, I'm not providing for DurgaSoft. I'm not providing the DevOps, but we will discuss about that. Okay. First, to see the syllabus, and then we will discuss about the rest of the things. Okay. So the syllabus for the Docker and Kubernetes is. I hope I have already there. Yeah. So this is the syllabus which we are going to cover in the entire Docker and Kubernetes. We are going to discuss about the Docker basics, Docker networking, Docker image creations, how we can create the images and how we can install the containers, run the containers. And then we are going to discuss about the Docker volumes, Docker compose and Docker swarm. With this, we will complete the Docker and then we will be going with the Kubernetes. In Kubernetes, we are going to cover how to create what is the architecture of Kubernetes, how to create the clusters, and then the workload components, services, ingress control, probes, and these are all the things. And here I am going to provide a real-time project for you. It's just a e-commerce website. Okay, how a e-commerce website, what are the different microservices that will be available, how we are going to integrate all the microservices, and CI/CD pipelining tool. It's just a CI/CD pipelining tool. I'm going to tell you how. Already I have the Jenkins application. Already I am having the Jenkins pipeline script. So with that script, I am going to show you how to automate the entire configuration. So that project I am going to show you in the end of the sessions. So this is about your syllabus, where we are going to cover RBAC. RBAC means role-based access control, how to provide the user access for the Kubernetes cluster, and whatever the cluster that we are going to create here, that's purely what I can say, that's purely production grade. Okay, it's not a development grade. I won't show you on the Minikube. If I show you the Kubernetes deployment on Minikube, anyone can do that. So in the YouTube videos also, if you search in the YouTube also, Minikube, Kubernetes installation with Minikube, you'll get the video. It's just a 10 minutes video. Okay, but I want to show you in a production grade how you are going to work. So we are going to work with the kubeadmin, KOps, Rancher, AWS EKS cluster. So these are the different types of tools which we are going to use. kubeadmin is one of the tools to create the Kubernetes cluster in the on-premises and as well as in the cloud environment. KOps is the tool which will be only used by AWS to create the cluster in the AWS environment. Rancher is a tool which we can use in the on-premises environment. AWS EKS is the managed Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so in AWS we are having EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. It is a managed AWS cluster, and in Azure we are having AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. It is for the Azure cloud. For Google also we are having the same concept. Okay, so these are the AWS EKS is the managed cluster by the AWS. Rest of the three tools which we are using, these are managed by us. Okay, it's a custom managed services or custom created clusters. So we are going to create the clusters just like in the production grade, and then we are going to deploy all these configurations. We are going to check how they are going to work in the real-time environment. Okay, so this is the concept of your entire Kubernetes and Docker. I hope you understand the entire concept. If you have any further questions, you can ask me now. Okay, guys. So I hope there are no questions. I stop here. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the how to install Docker. What is the main concept that you are going to get when we install the Docker and everything. And then we will go ahead into the containers. So tomorrow we don't have the same class. We'll be having a different classes. Okay.
One question. So these timings can we have in morning sessions? Because so 6 p.m. to 7:30, right? No timings.
That's a common time. 6 to 7:30 p.m. Why? Because in morning I have multiple sessions of AWS.
Okay. 6 to, because our office ends at 6:30, almost to
Yeah.
extend to 7:30. Is there any other batch like late night or early morning?
No, right now we don't have any batch. Okay. We have another batch we are planning at 4 o'clock in the evening. I don't know when it is going to start. Currently we are having this batch.
Basically, I'm looking not in office hours. 9:30 to 6:30 right now. Maybe after.
Yeah, we are sorry about that, but the sessions will be at 6 to 7:30, 7:38. Okay. Right. The timings are from 6 to 7:30, and so every day we will have 6 to 7:30. Every day sessions will be there. Within 20 working days, we are going to complete the session. 20 to 25 working days, we are going to complete the session. Every day it will be 1.5 hour of sessions or 2 hour of sessions. If you calculate 25 working days into 1.5 hour, it will be somewhere like some 40 sessions, 40 hours of training will be there. Okay, it's not a small concepts to cover. It's a huge concept we need to cover. So I need your focus mostly on these topics. Okay, so that's it from my end. Have a nice day. We will meet in the next session tomorrow. Also 7 o'clock we are having the session. Don't miss that. If you are interested, you can join. And yeah, please provide your proper phone number to the DURGASOFT guys. They will come to you and they will ask you about the things. So if you're interested, just say interested. If not, just say not interested. That is what we are expecting from you. Okay, have a nice day and bye bye, guys. I hope I made it very clear for you all. Any questions apart from this?
Enrollment, we need to call to the Microsoft or we need to register?
Durgasoft will call you back, and or else if you see the chat box, in the
I
chat
see,
box they
I
have.
just copy. Yeah, I copied.
Fine.
Fine. Okay, thanks.
Okay, guys. I hope I made it very clear for you. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. And tomorrow also we are going to connect any which ways. So yeah, bye guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.